Hello and welcome to another episode of HEX Therapy Live. I'm your HEX therapist, ALLin, and today's going to be a really exciting one because we're going to be learning a lot about the truth in behavioral finance and behavioral economics. I know the hexologist is going to raid the stream, so we'll start off with the long intro. Welcome. I still can't believe that guy in the intro sold 1,700 Bitcoin for 30 cents. I mean, talk about a bad day, because now the Bitcoin is worth $60,000 per coin. Wow. So hello and welcome. I'm so excited. Our last episode was the most watched episode of HEX Therapy Live ever, with 1,200 people tuning in to learn about sudden wealth syndrome. That's interesting. So a lot of you out there are really worried about being suddenly wealthy. Is that true? Well, I think it is, because HEX is reaching all-time highs right now, above 2 cents. And I'm being told as we speak that the ALLin pump is in. So I'm glad to hear it. Awesome. Congratulations to everybody who's in HEX and everybody who is early enough to be listening to this stream, because you're not only going to get a fresh take on what you can do to use this new savings mechanism called HEX, where you can send your future self money, but also I'm hoping to clue you in on certain things that will be helpful to improve your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that controls your behavior and your financial decision-making and a lot of your health outcomes. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is my second week of not drinking a Red Bull while I do this stream. So if I'm not quick to the draw or something, you'll have to understand. And I'm doing it because I want to have more longevity in store for you, so I can keep bringing you the HEX therapy skills for many years to come. So thanks again for tuning in. What do we have on the agenda today? Behavioral finance. Let me recap what we learned last week. So last week we learned that building community, what are the ways that you can prepare yourself for getting rich? Because a lot of people, when they win the lottery or when they get rich from crypto, actually have negative outcomes, right? Which can include being socially disconnected from people, experiencing depression, having anxiety because you're always tuning in to the market, right? The ways that people can prepare themselves in HEX are to make a plan to lock your HEX into T-shares and get paid trustless interest, to join the community like you're doing now, to take omega-3, which increases the activity in your prefrontal cortex, and to learn other insights about behavioral finance and psychology. And so that's why I have continued the education seminar this week, because it was the most popular topic last week. You're in store for a lot more fresh takes on what it is behind the psychology of investing. Of course, this is not financial or therapy advice. The government makes sure that I say that. This is entertainment. And as Nagabo would say, this is not financial advice. This is a financial command. He's a good guy. He's going to be out in Vegas. So that's one of the things that we're promoting here today, is that I'm going to have a stream here on Saturday. I'm so excited. Last week on Thursday, I met for 2 hours with an insider Hexakin who definitely is going to be able to hook us up with all the discounts and accommodations that we need to book our rooms in Vegas for the first ever HEX mass meetup. You can learn more at hexakin.vegas. Hexakin.vegas. It has the agenda. We're going to be driving a tank over a car, shooting machine guns, going to the HEX restaurant. What else are we going to do? There's a lot on the agenda. I'm going to go to some nightclubs in Vegas. And I know the Quant Gang is going to be doing a live stream together, all in the same room. We're super excited about that. That'll be the Tuesday before June 24th, which is Thursday, the first day of the meetup, or the pre-meetup day. And then we'll have major activities on Friday and Saturday and Sunday for everybody. So get excited and go ahead and get your plane tickets. And then on Saturday at noon Central time, I will be going live with T Money of Freedom TV, also a OG Hexakin, and someone who will be able to hook us up with discount codes for hotels to be able to stay on the strip. And he will possibly be exposing corruption and tell us who runs Vegas and give us insights into, he taught me really a lot more about how the world power works by understanding what the corruption in Vegas looks like. So, always trying to bring you the best shows, for sure. So let's go ahead, now that we've wrapped up what we did last week, we've previewed what we're going to do tonight, we've promoted hexakin.vegas. Now let's check in with the chat, and then we'll dive into our topic here. So, Bitfinesse, my friend, you and I have streamed together many a time, and here your words are too kind. You say learning the psychology and being made aware of what we're all going through is a shimmering hidden gem in this wonderful world of HEX. Thank you, Maddie. You're making the world a better place. Thank you, Bitfinesse. DeGron, how's it going? Let's go. Crypto King, boom. What's up, fam? How's it going? Zizo, good to see you. K-Ann, hey, back to you. Hexander, Maddie, ALLin pump going on, and he ain't even streaming yet. That's how good he is. Well, I don't know about that, I I think people just like to buy HEX because of the HEX, not just because of me. Hello, fam. David Morales, good to see you. Lehman Ortega saying hello to the plebeians. Good to see everybody who's new and everybody who's old. Good to see you. Kulu. Maddie looks like a mean D&D campaign. All right. Hey from China. Okay. I remember China saying hi last week. Good to see you too, DC Maverick. Maddie Crypto, what's shaking, family? 60,000 doll hairs. Yeah, for a Bitcoin. That's right, Jay. I'm blowing up. I hope I'm not blowing up. I feel like I'm still in one piece. We're headed to 50 cents. Let's go. Let's do it, Juicy. Hexfish, what's up? Word. Don't forget to hit the likes and pump the stream. That's right. We got a bunch of people tuning in right now. What's up, Judd? 1988. Very good year. Hey, Piston. How's it going? Can't hear you. Oh, no. Turn up your volume. Hey, Sig Hex. How's it going? I sometimes worry about being suddenly wealthy, but it seems there's literally nothing we can do about it. So it's best to accept, adapt, and make the world a better place for all. Well, Bifiness, I know that you're one of the people who will probably have a news story written about you someday that becomes really famous because you got rid of your apartment, and you're living out of your 18-wheeler so that you can put more money into HEX. And I know you're working those overtime hours. We won't say how many before the Department of Transportation starts listening in, but you are an exceptional or a hexceptional example of someone who's not only extremely intelligent in the world of economics, but also you put your money where your mouth is. So, okay. People are making jokes. We love it. No Red Bull. How about Monster? Yeah, trying to get away from the whole sugar and caffeine late at night. Hexfish is going to drink a Monster for me and charge me up that way. I'm here for the sudden health syndrome. Ooh, I like that. Will only work when we stay all in for it. That's right. Wow. Clever. Very good, Stein. Tree of Hex, number 1, 4 times in a row. Very good. Hex therapy is my favorite. Oh, I'm so glad, Hexalted. So much more value than money. Well, thank you for tuning in. Serena Alonzi. Hey, how's it going? First Hex streamer of all time. And she's one-upping Tree of Hex by putting 5 number 1s there on the Twitches. Hexander, we are slowly winning the lottery here. Time to prepare. That's right. Okay, I switched to YouTube. Good deal. Okay, now you can hear. Sup, homies? Jack Bauer, good to see you. Hey, Serena. Sammy Chica, good to see you too. Let's see, is it the end of the month yet? I'm excited to see the women of Hex do their stream. I guess that's not coming out for a little while, but I'll be tuning in on Discourse Syndicate. What's going on, Justin? Hex King, Brissology, just came from Hexo show. Awesome. Yep, I was watching his show, enjoying every minute of it. Dancing Coco. Oh, first time on a Maddie Twitch stream. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Korean Investor. Everybody go to hexcds.com. You can listen to Now That's What I Call Hex, Volume 1. It's got 1 or 2 tracks by Korean Investor and his educational rap. I love it. Full of education. And go ahead and put that out there, on Twitter, in the comments. If somebody doesn't understand Hex, maybe they want to listen to about an hour's worth of really good music. And they can, it forwards to a YouTube page. So you have to use http://hex CDs. And that's clever because it's like a compact disc or a certificate of deposit. Nice. Let's see. Yep, speak the truth, Maddie. Words of wisdom. Good to see you, Hex Diablo. Give me liberty or give me Hex. Are we rating you from Hexo stream? Looks like it. Good to see you here. Now, are you going to be converting any more of your Bitcoins into Hex here anytime? Or is Bitcoin not done mooning yet? Because I can never tell. I wish I could go. Tree of Hex. You never know. The world might open up sooner than you think. Vegas, baby. Freedom TV is going to be on the stream. You can already go ahead and like it ahead of time. Check it out. youtube.com/MattyAllin. Have you ever heard of Hex? I may have. I've heard of it. Hex community is the next level. Give Me Liberty is a cutthroat and an OG Hexican and probably some sort of whale or Poseidon or something. So I know he's trolling here. Always trolling. I love it. El Hexidente, one of the moderators of t.me/Hex Meetup. Very good to see you here. Thanks for letting me volunteer you. What's up, Spirit Hex? That's right, Vegas. Maddie, I'm selling my Pokemon cards I hodl for over 20 years. You got this. Hey, guess what? Last week on Hex Therapy Live, I promised that I was going to be going to my parents' house for Easter to uncover my Pokemon card collection. Sure enough, I found a bunch of cards. I think I'm going to have to get Motley Investor and Balliot Brand together, summon the other Hexicans who know more about Pokemon cards these days than I do, and maybe we'll make a stream out of it. I don't know. Is that something that people would like? Crypto Learner, you might have to hop on and show us what you got. I haven't found my holographic Charizard yet. I'm still looking for a lost safe, but we'll find it one of these days. I got some other ones to show off though that are pretty weird. Maybe 2022. Well, we're going to do Vegas every year, so that'll be our little convention meetup. And it's not so little anymore because we have 120 people already on the Telegram chat. I predict each person is going to bring one other person on average. So we're getting close to our target of 300 Hexicans. Another announcement. We're going to be doing a contest for the t-shirt, the official t-shirt, right? Because there's not going to be a lot of days like Saturday when everybody's there and everybody can be wearing a t-shirt, because there are going to be other days where formal attire will be required. Of course, Hexicans, you can wear whatever you want any time of the day, but in order to get admitted into certain nightclubs and this and that, you will be required to dress up. And so a t-shirt might not do it. Of course, we'll negotiate the details ahead of time, get you as many t-shirt days as possible, but I know I'm looking forward to dressing up some of the days. So we want to concentrate our efforts on one t-shirt to rule them all. So keep that in mind. If people are out there sharing their designs, that's something that we're going to formalize at some point here very soon. I think even tomorrow night on the FN Hangout in Discourse Syndicate, we'll have more information for you. I know the captain, RG3, who's co-sponsoring Hexakin.Vegas, he's got me real excited about some plans we're going to announce. So Friday night and then Saturday, those two streams. And then if you're not going to be able to catch them, go ahead and just join the Telegram group and we'll keep you up to date. Driving a tank and shooting guns through a restaurant sounds like a party. That's right. And our insider Hexican actually has, okay, there's a lot more to announce about the Vegas thing, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise because I want him to be able to tell you himself whenever he's featured on Saturday. So we'll get back to the comments here. How's it going, Justin? Hex on the beach? How's it going, Maddie? Well, you know, my day's had its ups and downs. I got to do therapy today, and I always enjoy working in the clinic. I did have a moment where I was watching Up Only TV. It's, you know, one of the alleged hedge funds that got into Hex, Three Arrows Capital. I saw that they were having him on with a bunch of other guys, and so I tuned in. What did I do? I just made 1 or 2 little comments about HEX and I got banned. Banned for speaking the truth. They were talking about DeFi. They were shilling PancakeSwap. The dude who low-key owns probably one of the biggest whales in HEX was on the stream, and some plebeian moderator bans me, so I can't even see the chat anymore. I don't even know what to say to these guys. I'm probably gonna wait until HEX is a lot more famous, and then they're begging me to unblock them or something. We'll see. There will be consequences, and it won't be that bad. So don't worry about it, guys. You know, not everything can be up only like the t-shirt price, even if that is the name of their show. Driving tanks, not in buffets either. They're separate activities. Trust me. Read the details. Vegas is my stopping grounds. Excellent, El Hexidente. I have a lot of experience there too. Probably not the best idea to piss off the mob. That's right. Well, that's why I didn't want to promise you too much. Just wanted to give you a teaser. Dr. Moore, how's it going? Cryptocurrencies, HEX hotels. Very good, very good. Let's see. Joe Pesci's run Vegas. That very well could be. Can't make it to Vegas, Tarnwig. This time, sold vacation days instead of HEX. Well, that's okay, because we're going to make it a tradition. We're going to live stream from there. So don't you worry. We're going to include you as much as we can. Hector the Protector coming in with the 100 bits. Thank you so much for your donation. And you're watching on multiple platforms. We appreciate that. What's up, T-Bird? Bros, how's it going? Donated 3 lemons. I don't think I'm on D-Live, but I'll take the lemons. Hex Toshi. Hey, Maddie and all you lovely Hexicans. I'm currently on a plane to LA, then driving to Vegas. Plane had to return to the gate to kick someone off. What? I wonder if it was a Bitcoin person. Let's see. Love you guys. Stay safe. You too, David. Good evening, Maddie. Hexarican. Wow, so many familiar names here in the chat. Let's see. Biffness, speaking the truth. Okay, very good. Biffness. High risk, high reward. He will win. I'm good. I can hear your stream on Twitch. Very good, very good. April 30th, Maddie, Ladies Discourse, very special guest. Well, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Even if even if it was just all the female Hexicans. But I like special guests. So I'm gonna cross promote the shit out of that. Let's see. How's it going, Burby Zarba? Did you change your name? Either way, excited to see you here. Let's see. Hope there will be some live streams in Vegas. You read my mind. I read your mind. Rusky99. I bought more Hex today. Hey, well done. Well done. I've been dollar cost averaging myself. I will join your Pokemon stream for sure. Awesome. I will hold you to it. Who's my guest tonight? Well, I've got a guest on Saturday. Tonight it's Hex Therapy, and normally I fly solo for this one. I do a show on Tuesday nights, Hex Quant Gang. You can see all 10 of our episodes that we've done so far, averaging 5 hours each, at the newly registered domain, quantgang.com. All right. And we even got a logo. I still got to pay for the logo, but the rest of it, it's all taken care of. And so this is my chance, because see, some people think it's harder to do a solo show. Some people think it's harder to do a show with other people. So I try to get experience at both, because I really enjoy making content for you, all of you fine people. And did you see my ALLin logo is pulsing today in anticipation of the fork that Richard Hart is going to make of the Ethereum chain. He's going to call it Pulse Chain. You can learn more at pulsechain.com. We need some HEX pins. What up, yo? How's it going, Crypto Farang? Ovidian the Great. I love my HEX family. Well, we love you too. Formal with the top hat. We are not going to discriminate or promote the top hats. We love the top hats. Sometimes I return my top hat after the 24-hour live stream so I could buy more HEX. Hey, Danny, good to see you. Very good to see you. Let them beg. That's right. We will not let those up-only folks back in without a struggle. I'm wanting to buy, don't want to buy tops. Well, listen, that's what dollar cost averaging is for. And that's what we're going to really get to tonight with our behavioral finance. I mean, this is the psychology of how markets work. I'm going to point out to you exactly the parts that I think are taught incorrectly, right? I almost went into a PhD program in behavioral neuroeconomics just about a year or two ago. I would not settle for anything less than the best. And so I applied at Stanford, which has one of the best programs in the country. And so I'm going to be calling people out basically because, even though I didn't have a formal education in economics, I think I have a formal education in psychology, neuroscience, behavior, decision-making, prefrontal cortex. I did my master's thesis, which was more of a dissertation project on brainwaves and impulsivity and experimentally manipulating those with the effects of nicotine patch versus placebo patch within subjects design. All of the scientific mumbo jumbo that you're looking for here on this stream, I've got it. So I'm also going to make the behavioral economics professors beg for me to go work for them, but I'm not going to do it because now I work for HEX and I work for myself and I'm starting to be financially free. And I think that's the goal of a lot of people. And that's why it's so important to understand your own psychology and your own decision-making, especially when it comes to finances. I've been wondering to myself and with family and friends, now I want to wonder with you, why is it that people spend their whole lives working for money, but they don't spend a whole lot of time working on understanding money? And it seems like people, they tune out whenever you start talking about money and economics and finances. I think that there are a lot of answers to this question, but I want to hear what you think, because I think a lot of people, they've been misled. We're going to look at examples of that tonight, where the definitions of some of these behavioral finance and behavioral economics, like people won the Nobel Prize. Richard Thaler, not our favorite Richard, who's Richard Hart. Thaler won the Nobel Prize for telling people that they're bad at making financial decisions and trying to quantify that. Like, without even trying to change people's behavior or make people better at saving. He basically said people are bad at saving. And what was his takeaway? It was basically to say that you should let somebody else manage your money, a centralized entity. And we could tell by the financial crash of 2008, 2009, by the money printing that's going on in a criminal fashion. The Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen, used to work for the Fed. She got paid millions of dollars by banks for giving speeches. She's getting paid thousands of dollars per minute it's bribes. It's bribes, people. So there's corruption at all levels. We're going to expose it. We're going to give you the financial and economic education that you deserve. And we'll still be home for dinner. So how about that? Yeah, we're going to talk about buying. We're going to talk about decision-making. We're going to talk about dollar cost averaging. Why is it that people think that they're bad with money. I think that the system is stacked against them, and it's not taught in schools, financial literacy. I think that people feel guilty, and people are told that it's their fault subconsciously. It's implied that it's your fault whenever your economic energy kind of drains away, and whenever the entire energy of the world is spent to try to market things to you that you don't need. And if you're lucky, you can learn about financial products where billionaires will always be first, right? And if they aren't first, then they back up the train. Like in Bitcoin, they FUD the price down using this is part of the Wall Street bets movement, is the idea that the markets were lying to us. This is what it exposed. Melvin Capital was using information that it paid for from Robinhood in order to see what people's financial orders were going to be before the orders were executed. They shorted, which means they borrowed more GameStop stock than existed, which that is going into the futures market and the derivatives market, but they were playing it on the real market. That's criminal, because it was guaranteeing money for them, because they knew that they rigged the market. Well, guess what? Somebody named Roaring Kitty on YouTube, also known as Deep Fucking Value, not safe for kids, name, on Reddit. This is the same person, and he made the bet a year and a half ago. He knew that this was going on. He started buying GameStop futures for a year and a half in the future, and that's what led to this big discovery in the market, where over 50% of people in Robinhood investors, bought GameStop stock because they were doing a short squeeze against the hedge funds. And, guess what happened? Just like normal, it was rigged. Melvin Capital got bailed out by Citadel, which is the same company that gives money to Robinhood too. So, and the seed investors in Robinhood, the people who are bringing Robinhood to the stock market from a private company to a stock that's traded by normal people, like, they're all corrupt too. All right. So just another example of how even this year, even in the past couple of months, the world is waking up to corruption. HEX exposes corruption because HEX is gate kept. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, you will see that HEX is listed at the market cap number 201, when in reality, any other coin market cap ranking site like nomics.com is going to show you the real market cap of HEX is number 14. So what is it? Is HEX number 201 in market cap, or is it number 14? It might even be higher now. Well, market cap is a vanity metric anyway. And the reason HEX is being excluded from CoinMarketCap is because they're owned by Binance, and Binance is an exchange that makes money off you trading. What's the theme here? The market's rigged, and it doesn't matter if you're in the crypto might as well be another example of something that's rigged, because we're realizing that people like Bitcoin, no matter how many institutions buy in, no matter how centralized it gets, right? No matter how public it is that the IRS knows about it. I mean, Bitcoin isn't what it was meant to be. HEX is a better technology, and in technology, things get better, right? Nobody wants a computer from 10 years ago if they can have a better computer today. Nobody wants, well, a lot of people still want Bitcoin. And maybe there's a use case for that, right? But Bitcoin, if you look at the code, it's not as good as HEX. And you can go, of course, you can go to allmylinks.com/allin, and you can find links to the HEX code and all kinds of other stuff. D'Artagnan, I can see your little icon. Thank you so much for the huge donation of $25. You're awesome. You're a legend. I know you run the, well, you don't run it, but you are a significant contributor to the t.me/hex crypto voice chat, which is also a great innovation, because if anybody's ever confused about what they need to do in order to buy HEX, or they need advice, then they can go there, and there's usually a reputable member of the community able to answer questions. Ask Kobe to unblock you on Twitter. Some good content on Up Only, except when they bang on about NFTs. I thought about doing that. I might do that. I might wait for him to beg me to be a viewer again, but I can still watch. I'm going to watch on YouTube anyway at 2x. I mean, I just kind of wanted to see the chat. Seems like they have a good chat. A lot of people who don't know about HEX, if they're gatekeeping it there too. That's okay. That just means we're early. All the people who haven't heard about HEX yet, they're going to like hearing about it because it's a better product. So they're going to hear. There's two types of people in the world: the people who understand HEX now and the people who will. It's a futuristic savings mechanism. How do I get to the Hexagon Vegas trip site? Hexagon.vegas. It's a domain name, actually. Not sure why would fund promote HEX. Yeah, true. I mean, like, if you're talking about the Up Only guys and Sun Tzu, who is one of the two people that runs Three Arrows Capital, I don't think they are promoting HEX. I think they're the whales who are running up the T-share price because they already got all their HEX locked for 15 years. And now they are running up the T-share price by doing short stakes that are huge so that they can ratchet up the T-share price and make it more expensive for everybody else. If I was a hedge fund, that's what I would do. So that's why they're not promoting HEX. So that's a good point. Cheers. Thanks for all your hard work. It's my pleasure. It's my honor to be here speaking the good word. Cheers to you too, Yoden. Banned for merely mentioning the greatest financial product that's ever existed, and is also the epitome of crypto and DeFi. And that's why I live out of my tanker and stake maximum HEX, because of the opportunity. Exactly, Bitfinesse. BG HEX, how's it going? Excited to hear the latest news. But then, let me see. Excited to hear latest news. Might not make this one, but the news could change this. Very good, very good. Yes. Cheer 303 for that 3-cent HEX on the horizon. I like the sound of that. I hop in and hit the like button immediately. Thank you, Big Main. And go ahead, everybody else. I've consulted my crystal ball, and if you hit the like button, you will have good luck in HEX. Otherwise, I'm not so sure. Only you can hit the like button. The news could change. Thanks, Maddie. Oh, my pleasure. Sammy, MT Coiner, another day and another stake submitted. Wow. Decent gas price today. That's right. Yeah. I walked my dad through how to do a MetaMask mobile swap yesterday because the gas fees were reasonable at 8:00 p.m. right before Clay from Nomics went on Discord Syndicate. That was cool. We like CEOs on the HEX streams, right? Joe Smothers, you bought the top two? Well, welcome to the club. You know, I remember when I bought the top at 1 cent and at lots of fractions of a cent, right? That's the cool thing is number go up technology. Timothy Benjamin, good to see you too. Listen, I want to see more of your streams. I know that you've been moving and getting better Wi-Fi. I'm just excited to see more of your retirement road trip adventures. Let's see. Gas has been okay for the past couple of days. That's right. That's right. You know what? Yesterday, though, when I was showing my dad how to do the MetaMask mobile swap, so maybe he qualifies for an airdrop, just saying. Etherscan was saying that the gas price was 700 Gwei, and it was really like 95. So that's weird. But ethgasstation.info was speaking the truth. So, and MetaMask wallet was saying the same thing as well. So that's weird. There's bugs in the system. I have a few HEX designs on Redbubble. Search Amount Coiner on redbubble.com. Okay, make sure you submit your design to our contest for the HEX Vegas official t-shirt. I'm calling it now. Maddie will be the new Oprah of crypto DeFi. Maddie, you will end up getting huge sooner or later. Keep it up, brother. Well, thank you so much. I'm flattered. I'm honored to be here. Marco the Hexican. You're good people. Thanks. Looking forward to learning much more from you and others in the wonderful community. That's right. Let's see. D'Artagnan with the 25 big ones up and to the right. 50x from 2 cents is a $1 hex. And I heard Hexo saying earlier today, $1 hex. What did he say? $2 hex puts us right above Bitcoin in market cap. $1 hex, it would be a 500 billion. Yeah, that sounds right. Great thing about HEX is that even if you buy the top, if you stake for at least a year, not only will the price most likely increase as it's done before, but you increase your position with interest. That's right. You know, Ethereum is practically at all-time highs, HEX all-time highs. So if you bought either of them in the past, you've made money. Congratulations. Everyone, don't forget to like. Thank you, Daniel, for looking out. Let's see. Have you seen the Lex and Andrew Huberman conversation? I have not. I recently started appreciating Lex more. I always heard of him, but I've still been catching up. Let's see. I saw his stream with somebody who founded Algorand. Saw his stream with Anthony Pompliano. I think there was another one in there too. And then what's the one I'm working on now? Oh, Elon Musk. I saw his stream with Elon Musk. That was fantastic. A little bit too short for my opinion, but what else? And then Lex, he has a day in the life video. I loved it. I'm going to rewatch it, and then I'm going to try to live by some of the things that he does. He has this super complicated, I actually played this in one of my therapy groups. Copyright issues here, but he has a super intricate daily mantra that has 5 or 6 parts of how he goes through his gratitudes, visualizing his day, thinking of his 5-year goal, his goal before the end of the year. I highly recommend you watch Lex Friedman, Day in the Life. Even in the first 10 minutes, you'll derive value. Up and to the right. I love hearing what you think, Maddie. All right, you guys, you're being too nice. I appreciate it though. Pulse, shivering with anticipation. Let's do the time warp again. Do you think 3 cents in 3 days is feasible, or is it too fast? What I can tell you, we cannot anticipate the buying behavior and selling behavior of large players in the space. What we can predict is that the HEX community seems to continue to grow as evidenced by increased people watching this stream and the other streams. You know, I haven't gotten 5 times better from how well I was streaming a month ago. You know, maybe I'm like twice as good, but definitely the HEX community is growing and we love that. That's a bullish indicator. Now, listen, HEX, it can go down 60 or 70%. We've seen it 4 times. That's awesome. That's a buying opportunity. Are you going to freak out? Probably not. I mean, maybe you are, but I'll be here for you. How about that? Or you can go to my episode called Fear Not. That's a good one. You see, like, you know, the early stages of Maddie streaming. That was my first solo stream. I thought I bought the top on New Year's Eve. Phew. Good thing I bought HEX, the one that goes up and to the right. Kay says the oldest useless form of money founded was 4,000 years ago. It was a piece of clay with fancy stamps. They didn't educate us in school about finance. They do this on purpose and have for thousands of years. I think you're right. Yeah, and that's exactly what we see. The history of money, that's a fascinating, definitely a fascinating thing. I remember I once went to a museum that had coins, gold coins from all throughout history, from thousands of years ago. And you could actually see how greedy the ruler was at the time. They all have pictures of themselves, but the ones who were the greediest would clip the coins out, clip them down to nothing, and say, this is still the same amount of value. That's called inflation. That's what they're doing now with money printing. Others would have beautiful designs on their coins because they were delaying gratification enough as a ruler to allow better production of the coins and that sort of thing. So very good. Yeah, it has been embedded into us for thousands of years. And that's what's so interesting about this time when people are waking up, the Wall Street bets movement. But why would you bet on something if it's not a sure thing? You know, Roaring Kitty just put out a really good meme video on YouTube about, it was Home Alone. It was a whole meme. He changed the lines, like the subtitles. It's actually kind of funny. It's saying, oh, well, you know, we're looking for our next investment thesis. Maybe GameStop will keep doing well. Maybe it will, you know, but people are going to find HEX, I believe. We'll see. I mean, we're getting to the point here where, you know, it's kind of unbelievable how much HEX has gone up, but you better believe it because Bitcoin is up 6 million X. By the way, haven't seen Roaring Kitty and the Robinhood CEO in the same room together. Yeah, on Twitter, the Robinhood CEO is fake, is like an X person that used to be the leader. And then Roaring Kitty was the one who just created awesome videos explaining his thesis on why GameStop was undervalued. Sham is not even the word. We've been bamboozled. That's right. Ranked number 12 now on Nomics. Look at that. Number 12. People are updating us as we speak. Just by now, this shit is going way higher. Well, each person will make their own financial decisions. What's up? What's going on? Johnny Chaos Experience. New establishment mimicking what is known to work. Also known how to exploit. That's right. Much love here. Let's see. First 32-inch plasma TV was $22,000. Now a 60-inch TV is about $600. That's right. You know, did I go on a rant on this already? I guess I talked about it on Quant Gang, but the numbers are all so cooked. Like the price of bread, if you look at it from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the price of milk, it all looks good and fine until you start buying other things that you need, like cell phone minutes, internet access, education, medicine. That's where the inflation is. I think BTC will have a collector character. Let's see. It skipped ahead. But from a technological perspective, not really. It's 2021 here. That's right. HEX is better than the dollar because you can't push a button on the dollar bill and make it spit out pennies. Hey, that's right. Very good. Very good. Nardo likes his pennies. Good to see you, Nardo. You know, people have been volunteering you, Nardo, to track down a Lamborghini and remodel it so that we can run over it with the tank in Vegas. And I would like to say those people, don't volunteer Nardo for that. Nardo's going to be there cheering us on. I don't know. We're not going to have a Lambo this year, people. This is the first one, okay? We need to start small so we can show how early we are, you know? If we could be running over Lambos on the first year, I think that would be kind of almost a bearish indicator. So let's run over a super old Honda Civic or something that looks like trash. So many announcements on Saturday, people. I don't want to ruin it. Don't want to ruin the surprise. I got a bonus for my job and called up my dealer right away. What's a tanker? Is it a truck? Yeah, I think Pip Finesse drives a super dangerous semi. Dads be FOMOing in now. That's right. Yeah, moms and dads. You helped me last night too. I finally staked 5,555. Wow, that is so awesome. Congratulations, Kay. And welcome to the Quattro Cinco Club. You're among many fellow Hexicans who all staked Quattro Cinco. That's awesome. Today's top is next month's bottom. Next week's. Daniel, yes, tanker is a type of trailer. The trucks can carry it. Stores dangerous flammable liquid. What's going on, whales only? Speak of the devil. I was just talking about Quant Gang, and props to you. I always love what I learn from Kareem and you as well. You have your own channel, so everybody go follow Whales Only on YouTube. He does a critical part of financial education in the HEX community, is a very brilliant mind and someone who works on Wall Street, but has the heart of a Hexican. So we love that. And I think it's youtube.com/whales only one, or you can go, I can't remember if that's the Twitter. Basically go to quantgang.com, and then in the description of that YouTube video, you will be able to see all the links to Whales Only, Twitter, YouTube, Telegram. Everyone, check your staker. We're up. All right, stop the show, everybody. We're checking staker. Make sure to take a screenshot while you're at it. Or, you know, whatever. I don't know. I don't want staker knowing all my stuff. So I put some of my addresses into staker, and then I put some into, like, it's not Blockfolio. What do I use? I use Crypto Pro. I think I got it back when it was free or something, paid $5 for it. That's my favorite app to track crypto. But, you know, with Staker, it's free. Why don't you use Staker if you don't have a million wallets? What's going on, Toby1? Good to see you. Get used to it. David, thank you so much for the super sticker. Now, David and I have streamed many a time, and he's a big technical support. I mean, David does everything, all right? David had the most touching testimonial, made Richard Hart himself cry. And, you know, David has his own channel, and I could do a whole stream just on how much I love David. So good to see you here in the chat. We need to know your hair care regimen. Those locks are legendary. Well, listen, I'll tell you. I don't shampoo my hair every day. Once every 2 to 3 days. Take biotin. It's kind of like a pregnancy. It's hair, nails, and skin. All right, people. 10,000 micrograms will make your hair grow at 3x. And I know those numbers aren't very impressive compared to your hundreds of X's in HEX. But listen, if you want to grow your hair out and enjoy it before I go bald or before you go bald, go ahead and do that. Then, if you really want to know, I do conditioner in the shower that's separate from the shampoo. And then I do a slight leave-in conditioner called Brocado. Find it at your local beauty salon or online. But gosh, I need to get some show links up. I'm such a terrible influencer. So positive, Maddie. You bring out the positivity and supportiveness in others. Hey, I'm glad. I'm so excited. I found it interesting that Jordan Peterson tweeted about HEX. That's right. Yeah. Jordan Peterson is more well-known than Lex Friedman. They're both super interesting, inspirational people. If you can get Andrew Huberman as a guest, conversation would blow minds like, whoa. Well, Cuz D, one of the good things that we talk about here is if you want something done, you can do it yourself. Bring your own Andrew Huberman to Richard, and he will defeat all of your heroes in debates, or if you're a reasonable person, he will have a pleasant and enlightening conversation with you, is what I've found. Toby1, thank you so much for the donation. Now you're paying me to tell you about my hair routine. Well, I just told you, and thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Hector the Protector with $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Question about Omega 369. I love Omega 369. I'd be happy to answer your question. I'm pretty sure I heard you once advise 1,000 milligrams for the first week. I'm 2 weeks in and feeling more clear-minded. Would you recommend increasing to 2,000 milligrams with food? Yes. Short answer, yes. So I settled on 1,600 milligrams of omega-3. Of course, the reason why we take omega-3 is to improve the functioning in our prefrontal cortex, which is where we make our financial decisions, problem solve, build healthy relationships, have positive self-talk, inhibit impulsive behaviors, improve health behaviors, yada, 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 right? So omega-3, it's a building block for the electrical insulation in your brain. Turns out 25% of the weight of your dry brain is supposed to be electrical insulation. And that's made only by omega 369. So super important because it's not always included in your food. Hector, the Mayo Clinic and other world-class experts recommend that you don't get 3,000 or 4,000 milligrams of omega-3 each day because that might be a little bit too much. It might make your blood a little bit too thin. Most people's blood is too thick. We want your blood to be just right. And there are lots of other benefits of omega-3. Don't take it if you're on a blood thinner. That includes even over-the-counter stuff. If you're taking Advil, Tylenol, ibuprofen every day, anyway, like talk to your doctor about that. Like, should I be doing that? That's a good question. Or if you're on a prescription blood thinner, ask your doctor first about omega-3. Some doctors are going to say, yeah, go for it. Other doctors are going to say, not for you. You're on a high dose, right? But it's because it has a similar effect to thin the blood. It's part of a natural... Omega-3, the rubbery material that insulates the electrical wires in your brain, not only helps your brain health and your psychological health, it also helps your heart health, building those strong eyeballs that are made out of rubbery material, helps with a lot of stuff. So now that we've established that, how much should you take? Well, I started out with 1,000 milligrams per day with food for the first week. That went well. Then I moved it up to 2,000 milligrams per day. Now, I take it with food all at once. Other people do different things. That's cool too. Some people get to burping fish smells Then they throw them in the freezer. Now the pill is frozen so it can get deeper into your digestive system before any gases are released. And now you don't have fish burps or fish farts or any sort of fishy activity. Now, I see a preview that the founder of Staker app here, Steph, has also made a donation of $3, 3.69 euros. And I was already going to make a joke that you don't want anything to be fishy about yourself other than your avatar in the Staker app, where we can understand the value of T-shares by gamifying the system of saving and the system of HEX. So Steph is not only a gentleman and a genius, but he also creates one of our favorite apps ever. Now, if you don't have the Staker app yet, you can download it at $hex.com. That's my referral link. So it'll pop up on my screen that I referred you, and then I'll get warm, good feelings about it. And so let me see. Now that I've made all my fish jokes, let's see. Also, that's my background on my computer, is like all the different leagues. So Steph made a league system, and it goes from Silent Shell, somebody who hasn't staked any HEX, up to Shy Shrimp, Cool Crab. I think he added one for turtles. Oily Octopus, Swift Squid, Dabbing Dolphin, Super Shark, Winning Whale, and Prosperous Poseidon. So those are each orders of magnitude larger amounts of the total T-share pool. And so not only genius, but a fun way. And I hear through the Twitters that there is a new version of Staker app coming soon to an app store near you. Version 2 will seem to be a significant improvement over version 1, which is already awesome. I did my first stake through the Staker app here recently when the gas fees dipped. So that's something that's available because I'm a tester, but also I think that people are able to basically buy these smart wallets that Staker is wanting to give away eventually for free. But the gas cost is so high right now, there's kind of a wait list. And so if you go to $hex.com, you can get on the wait list there for the smart wallet that they're giving away for free, and they're building an incredible business. Hopefully they hire me someday. I got to show how much value I can provide, right? Let's see. Today's tops in HEX. Wait, so did I answer the question? Yeah, 2,000 milligrams per day if you're not loading up on omega-3 from natural sources. If you eat salmon every other day, you might be getting enough omega-3 right there. If you eat tuna every day, you might be getting enough omega-3. Remember, don't go up to the 3,000, 4,000 milligram range. That's a little bit too much. Stay down there in the 2,000 milligram. I personally take 1,600 milligrams with my Sam's Club brand omega-369, and you can too. It's exactly 2 pills, I think. Hopefully I don't have that wrong. Yeah, I think it's 2. It says on the front of the bottle 1,600. In the fine print, you have to read, you don't take 1, you take 2. Very good question. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate you bringing up the topic, because this is one of the things that I've seen has made the biggest difference in my clients' lives. As a therapist, somebody who helps people with substance abuse and mental health, upgrading the prefrontal cortex by improving nutrition with omega-369 is the perfect way to start somebody out onto a healthier lifestyle that can be rewarding for them and everybody around them. So that is awesome. Today's tops in HEX are next week's new support lines. That's right. Steph. Okay. He is saying the word patience, because he too is quoting Jordan Peterson and stuff. Maybe must be a fan or see that this is a big opportunity for HEX. So I love that. It's so this is what Jordan Peterson said to shadowy HEX brilliance, which is Brennan on Twitter, when he confronted Jordan on the tweets and said, why are you paying attention to bots whenever you could be paying attention to HEX and Richard Hart and something that's going to change the future of humanity? And Jordan Peterson was like, patience, which all I'm saying, that's related to proof of weight, which is one of the mechanisms in HEX that allows you to delay gratification. Very good to see you, my friend and co-host Wales Only. Rusky, thank you so much for the donation. 100 bits. I appreciate it. And shout out to all of you who are on Twitch there. If you subscribe, I've got some cool emotes. You can spread them around in other channels. Usually you don't get banned for having a cool HEX emote. I've got this one. It's as an emoticon that you can use. It shouldn't be. You were told. That's right. I say pay Nardo to fix up a junk Lambo and run over with the tank. Year 1, year 2, what are we doing here? I'll throw in. Let's see. Steph with the patience. Is this turning into a show where I'm just reading the comments? Like, I love the community so much, and that is an important part of the psychology. Let's jump in here. I don't think I'm going to catch up. I think the community is too active, which we love. I'm going to share my screen here because I want to point out exactly what is wrong with all this stuff. So let's do an overview first, like behavioral economics. Literally, there are so many different fields of study that are pretending to be behavioral economics. Experts can't even agree on what the definition is, but here's what somebody said on Wikipedia. Behavioral economics, spelled many different ways, studies the effects of psychological, cognitive, emotional, cultural, and social factors on the decisions of individuals and institutions and how those decisions vary from those implied by classic economic theory. Trying to understand what the rationality is in economic agents, having behavioral models to integrate insights from psychology, neuroscience, and microeconomic theory. Yeah, right. So I already told you that there's all this nonsense about Richard Thaler and Daniel Kahneman trying to get all their Nobel Prizes for literally talking about stuff that is nonsensical, does not change human behavior, simply describes a problem that is not solved, says people are bad at savings, so governments and companies should be in charge of your 401k and your savings. That's wrong. That's literally just wrong. They should not be in charge. That does not end well for people. Look at Social Security. Social Security was set up as a scam. Half of the people, the average life expectancy was put as the year that you would get to retire. So 50% of the people who were paying into Social Security when it launched were predicted to die before they would collect it. And now the politicians, they're playing games trying to please people. And this is a threat, I think, to humanity. And even Elon Musk says it, that there's a threat whenever all we have is short-term thinkers in power and people who are so corrupt and bribing each other. It creates bad information, right? And that's one of the things that economics is supposed to show in a free market. It's supposed to show price discovery, capital destruction, like never too big to fail. right? And when everybody puts their money, literally like behavioral economics, I'm coming for you, right? Like, because when everybody puts their money into a big pot and power is centralized, now it's like, oh, we can't let anybody go out of business because then everybody's going to lose their savings. The unfunded liabilities, our national debt is like 22 trillion. Our unfunded liabilities is 150 trillion. So like, that's what people are promised that they'll get. It's all paper gains. People can't sell out of the stock market all at once. We're going to get into some of these definitions where they're talking about liquidity and decision making and how stupid people are. And I'm not sure that people are so stupid. I think people just have misinformation, propaganda, poor education on finances. And we're here to change that. As long as YouTube, YouTube's getting pretty happy. They're getting their little cut of these donations that are coming in. There's people hitting the like button. They're not going to shut us down right away. If they do, we're on a lot of other platforms. Go to allmylinks.com/allin. I'm just going to try to speak the truth here. We'll see what happens, Let's see. I'm going to jump down here to criticisms real quick because this is the real truth. So, because this is not trying to program you with bad information. When you study something new, the more you learn about it before you figure out what's going on, the more biased you're going to be, because what we know biases what we can know to some extent. It's also a waste of time to get misinformation. Drives me nuts. Critics of behavioral economics typically stress the rationality of economic agents. No behavioral research can establish an economic theory. There is no unified theory in behavioral economics. Burn. Prospect theory and other nonsense. These are models of decision making, not generalized economic behavior. And they're only applicable to the sort of once-off decision problems presented to experiment participants or survey respondents. I worked in a neuroscience laboratory. I did experimental basic behavioral research on psychology and brainwaves, looking at the neuronal cellular activity, localizing it in regions of the brain, right? Doing like down to the millisecond studies of your visual processing and all of your psychological behavior. Like, I know what's up. And all these behavioral economic studies where they're like, oh, do you want $1 now or do you want $2 in the future? Is BS, because look at how everybody went through inflation and the government's claiming there is no inflation. So no wonder there's bad research. So much research is bad. I'm not going to say that's part of the reason why I left the scientific community, because check it out. HEX is literally probably, because it's the most transparent market that's ever existed. It has a future market supply chart for the next 15 years, which is longer than Bitcoin has even existed. Like, HEX is the greatest economics experiment that's ever happened. Quote it, clip it, tweet it, bop it, right? All these things. Like, HEX is the greatest economic experiment that's ever occurred. And what are we seeing? The results are in, baby. In the beginning, people staked shorter. And then Steph made the staker app and gave us all really cool fish avatars to tell us that, oh, staking your HEX and getting more t-shirts is pretty cool. Shout out to Steph in the chat again. because this is a hex clip now. So I got to make it really good, right? And so it started out that there were few people in hex. Now people are staking longer and bigger than ever. That just in the past month or two, the average stake length, the average has gone from under 5 years to 5.5 years. I mean, and the people who are using the staker app, $hex.com to get the staker app, are staking insanely long. 11 years on average is being staked. Over 2.5 million has already been staked on there. And this is just the beginning. All the wallets haven't even rolled out yet. So in Hex in general, and people who are in the know with the staker app, we're seeing economic history unfold, and we're seeing an economic future unfold, because the people who have locked their coins, we already know what their behavior is. Spoiler alert. If you lock your coins and you can't sell them, that's positive for the price because the coins become more rare and you get paid inflation. So you're incentivized to do this behavior, and you can't sell them for pennies on the dollar while the price is increasing more and more. If people time locked their Bitcoin when it was a penny, there'd be a lot more Bitcoin billionaires. Now, Hex is the greatest economic experiment that's ever happened up until this point. And I'm so excited because the data, it's right there. Go to hex.vision. The data is there. You can slice it, dice it any way you want. My plan in Hex was to sit around and write articles like the nerd that I am. So go to mattieallin.medium.com. You can read my articles. Now I'm just speaking the truth. Turns out I got a lot more experience speaking than I do writing. I'm very proud of the articles that I wrote, especially the one, my Pays de la Résistance, is the article that I linked to in the YouTube description below. You could also go to 3gcrypto.com and you can see my article about the future of mental health being programmed into money. Clip it, cut it, hex clips. I know people in hex clips get annoyed whenever we always shout them out, but it's more of a thing just to let the audience know, like, hey, pay attention. I thought of something really cool to say. So that's good. This is fun. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. Some YouTubers, don't actually listen to their own streams, and others are super vain and they're only listening to their own streams. For me, I just listened to one recently because I want to get better. And so I have to, sometimes it hurts your ears to listen to yourself. Is that how I really sound? But I listened to all 2 hours of the last episode because so many people watched it and I wanted to figure out what was I doing right? What was I doing wrong? So, I'm in the chat too. I'm a viewer and a creator. And, so I'm out here. I'm doing my best. I'm super pumped up by the 103 people that are watching live. You all rock. Thank you so much for tuning in and learning more about the true psychology of economics, separating the truth from the lies, and understanding Hex and our own financial future and financial freedom. That's why I put the handcuffs there. If you've never been in handcuffs, they're very uncomfortable. And if you live on the planet Earth, you are financially in handcuffs because you're forced to pay taxes. Otherwise, you get put into a metal cage and worse, right? You're forced to pay taxes, inflation. The best you could do is give your money to somebody who's in power, and maybe they'll give you a little bit back, right? Or not, whatever, the world has never been so globalized, and growth doesn't happen forever. And so we're reaching a critical point where guess what? It might make a lot of sense to start giving Nobel Prizes to people like Richard Hart. I predict he'll get 2 for inventing things that help people save, solving the problem of people being bad savers, instead of giving Nobel Prizes to people who say, yeah, people are really bad at saving. The end. I'm telling you, when I wrote my personal statement to go to grad school in behavior, like in neuroeconomics, it was all I could do. I had to rewrite it several times so I didn't bash these guys because they're probably like heroes. But bring your heroes here to die. Come to Richard. You know, Wales only can handle them too. You know, I know a lot of people you could bring your heroes to in behavioral economics, and they could learn a thing or two by not having their head stuck so far up their butt that they think describing people as being irrational with their money makes any sense at all. I could go on so many rants right now. So many rants. We'll get there eventually. I'll keep putting out episodes. If they're helpful, we'll talk about economics. We'll talk about psychology. We'll talk about self-help, self-health, all of it. This we're still early. This is just the beginning. Okay. So we've established that this is all no good. Here, I love this. This is accurate, okay? So David Gall has argued that many of these issues stem from behavioral economics being too concerned with understanding how behavior deviates from standard economic models rather than with understanding why people behave the way that they do. Okay. So understanding why behavior occurs. Oh, maybe that's necessary for the creation of generalizable knowledge. Who would want that? The goal of science. The goal of science. That's good. He's referred to behavioral economics as a triumph of marketing. Yo, like, we need to team up, you know, because HEX is a much more of a triumph of technology and human innovation and, you know, integrative science. We could use some triumphant marketing from time to time. But, you know, let's get regular people into HEX before we get all these assholes in here. Okay. Yeah. Survey-based techniques. Economics typically stress revealed preferences over stated preferences. So not only do they tell you that you're bad at saving and they can't help you except for centralizing your 401k and increasing corruption, they're also going to tell you you're a liar and you don't even know your own preferences. So they have to come up with tricks in order to figure out what your economic behavior is, instead of just looking on the goddamn blockchain. Jesus Christ. I knew I was going to get triggered. I just didn't know how much. So let's switch over to the next tab. I don't know. We could check in with the chat, make sure we don't miss anything because the comments do get deleted after so long. Yeah, we'll break it up into 2 parts. But we only have 35 more minutes. I'm trying to keep these at 2 hours. I say pay Nardo. All right, we got it. We'll pay Nardo. Thanks for all you do. Your work is legendary. You guys are too kind. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Number 1. That's just the Twitter. All right, Whales Only. Follow him on Twitter, youtube.com/Whales Only. Regarding HEX, actually just go to the description. Regarding HEX, it's theoretically possible for the price of an individual HEX to increase unproportionally to the market cap due to increases in HEX staking. For the price of an individual HEX to increase unproportionally to the market cap, Yeah, that's a good point. That's really deep thinking. I'm glad to have you in the chat. Imperthian, also a very interesting, cool name. Yeah, thanks for joining us. You would really like the Quant Gang stream and this stream, so definitely stick around. Yeah, it's kind of complicated because the founder of Nomics was on Discourse Syndicate last night. There's a stream that I recorded between him and Richard Hart that talks about why adding staked coins to the market cap is not a good idea necessarily, because they're burnt and they're locked, and so they're not part of the available, what do they call it? The available supply. The available supply, that's not what it's called, but it's the coins that can actually be used, right? Bitcoin has a bunch of coins that have been lost forever, and they count that in the market cap, even though it shouldn't be, because you can't sell or trade those coins. They're gone. Staked coins, they're locked for a certain amount of time. They're not getting unlocked. So Richard, in his stream with Clay that I recorded and is on this channel, got like 3,000 or 4,000 views already. Richard proposes a certain metric that could be used to account for the coins that get put in to the stakes somehow. Check that out. It's very, very technical, and it would only change the market cap by like less than 10%. So, but they're going back and forth about all these technical data sources that could be pulled. What we know is market cap, it's a vanity metric in the end anyway. Sure, we like bragging rights, but we could talk a lot about that. That's a good point. We could make a replica Lambo. See, this is the man Nardo himself, out of a Ford Fiero, and save that money. All right, done. T.me/HEX meetup. Marcavelli. Biotin. The hair t-shirt. Yo, for real. Stake those vitamins. Or just take them. Too late. Just my luck. Bitcoin. Or biotin. I said Bitcoin. Biotin will grow my nose hairs like crazy. Yo, it's true. You're going to have to invest in some hedge trimmers for your nose hair like I do. Again, need to have a shill link for a nose hair trimmer. You heard it here first. 3x your hair return on investment. Do you recommend to rebuy HEX now or wait for a bit? Best regards. Thanks for the question, Rova. I'm not a financial advisor. What am I doing? I'm dollar cost averaging. And so I, buy periodically. Don't try to predict the price. I'm bad at predicting the price. I wait, and so really when you look at how much the price could dip versus how much the interest gets paid, I think it's good to just go ahead and buy whenever you're ready. If it's if to you it's a medium or small amount of money, if to you it's a really, really big amount of money, dollar cost average is what I would do. Just because then you have like the peace of mind, because we know it's going to go up and down in the short term. Kareem would probably tell you go all in. There's different theories on it. I mean, you could just look up the different theories. Somebody did an analysis and looked at Bitcoin and said going all in was good, even if you buy a top. It's impossible to predict the future opportunities that are going to come up from people undervaluing the asset compared to how much you value it. If you value it at these prices, then act on your belief. And then if you're wrong, own that. I'm trying to, come up with good thoughts on this, right? Because this is an important question. It's something we all struggle with. What do? I dollar cost average in. I try to make more money, like in a job to buy more crypto. Sometimes I just like go for it. I like listen to a Quant Gang or Hex Therapy episode, and then I get myself pumped up to do the thing that I know is going to be best for me, which is buy and stake Hex. I make a plan. I write stuff down. What else? Buy Hex now or wait for a bit. We don't know what the future price is going to be. We know that adoption is increasing. Now, somebody could sell and offset that, but that's not the sure thing. That's not what you know is going to happen. Now, if you want to create your own reality and you want to onboard a bunch of other people after you get in, wouldn't that be a good thing? You'd be doing your part like the rest of us. And like, how great is it to be spreading the good word of Hex? It's literally a tool that people can use to save money, send money to their future selves, and avoid all the trading, all the money traps. With Richard's upcoming podcasts, I'm afraid my head will explode soon. I'm so looking forward to all of them. Hey, me too. I've been going through withdrawals. I want to see him on the throne on YouTube. I hope it'll be soon. He has a pattern. I haven't ever seen him go more than a month without streaming. Now he does the Hex audio chats on Telegram from time to time. So stay tuned. I know I will. I've been taking omega-3 and feel pretty good. I'm glad, David. I'm really glad. And go ahead, people, and keep sharing your success stories. I love fried calamari. Look up each fish to find out how much omega-3 it has in it. Not all fish are created equally. Just like not all staker leagues have the same fish in them. Ain't no oily octopus no more. That's so 2020. All right, cool. It's a tinkering turtle now, I guess. Let's see. My future boss, Steph. By the way, I'm a time traveler from the future. I already know he hires me. He said there are no job openings at this stage, but he took note. I love it. I love it. Yo, I'm gonna keep providing value and see what happens. But I am a time traveler from the future. I can tell everybody the price of HEX, it's way better than Bitcoin. That's all I'm going to say. And let's see. Let's see. What else about the future do I want to tell you? I mean, that's the headline. Maddie gets hired by Staker. Staker becomes the number one financial app on the App Store. Staker integrates behavior locking to program mental health into money. Staker becomes the number one app on all the app stores and gets adopted by health insurance companies and governments, but most importantly by the people, for the people. What else do you want to know? Leave your comments below. What do you want to know about the future? Do we have any random guesses as to how many HEX per day a T-share could possibly generate over time? I know we can't know anything for sure, but are we thinking it could be dozens, many tens? Thanks. Thank you for the question. My answer is that I predict that the origin address that's paying so much interest now, it's pretty cool. I believe that will trend towards the origin address controlling 51% of the supply of HEX, currently rumored to be about 70 or 80% of the supply. So I believe that for about a year or two, there's going to be, I would say a year and a half more maybe. It's impossible to know what somebody else's behavior is going to be. But based on the incentives and the necessary game theory in the system, I believe that it will trend towards the 3.69% because we know that people who are not the origin address are staking way more than the system is. So the origin address is literally paying out Genesis coins that it stopped people from getting at too low a prices so that they can't dump coins on the market now. Super genius. No other coin has figured out how to do what HEX has done. So as the origin address goes from 80% of the total supply of coins at the big payday, which was 1 year into launch, and now it's going to pay out 40% APY for an average of 5 years, and then that's going to go down over time, I think. And it's a lever that can be controlled to benefit the coin and the community. So for now, it's super high. We love it. I mean, it doesn't even it sounds like a scam. It doesn't sound real. People ask, where does the interest come from? It comes from the Genesis coins not being dumped on the market. Like, I'm glad I didn't understand it at first and nobody else did, because I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut. I mean, I say that as a therapist. I can keep secrets better than almost anybody. It's literally my job. I can't wait to become a dabbing super whale. Well, super whales have been known to dab. They've also been known to win, a winning whale. Identity Block, how's it going? Hextoshi, fusing sea animals. That's right. Jacques Cousteau of HEX. That's Steph. Awesome. Love it. HEX is capable of extraordinary things. Those guys are legacy finance scammers. Yeah, behavioral economics. Don't believe it. I'm so happy I dived gear first into HEX and divorced Robinhood, Tesla, Virgin Galactic, etc. That's funny. Let's see. I think humans act like children because they have treated us like children for so many years. Taking control of our finances and mental health will be so rewarding to us and future generations. Yeah, look at that Hexakin speaking the truth and predicting the future. We love it. We love long-term thinking, don't we? Most importantly, buy HEX or stay poor. You know, I try to flip this into a positive perspective, and I say, hold HEX and stay rich. Very cool. Check out krill oil. A bit more expensive, but it has better absorption and is higher in antioxidants. Also, omega-3 is most important, as most get enough omega-6 from their diet. That's correct. You want to get the right amount of omega-3 and omega-9. Hex Mac, what's going on in Australia? Yo, good to see you. I enjoy streaming with you. I miss it. I haven't talked to you in a while. Just brought up Facebook, ADA. Ian brought up on the Facebook ADA page about the point of adults acting like children because we've been treated like children by governments that abuse their powers. We begin the most important behavioral hex experiment with the hex, which needs to be enriched. I love that. There are a lot of words that start with EX. You can put hex on there. Now we just need to keep track of all the words that start with pulse. Pulsate. Anything else? Heart pulse. How you doing? Doing well. Woo. Can't stand my voice either. Works out. I'm not listening to any of my streams. I've done. Well, Wales, you're known to have a very smooth, pleasant voice, so I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, guys. So welcoming. Smash those likes. You streamers are inspiring me to get my studio set up. I love it, Crypto Contrarian. We need all the crypto and contrarian and streaming stuff we can get. You're doing Maddie. I'm doing Maddie amazing. True professional. Didn't screw up my words unprofessionally there at all. My cousin asked me, how many hex does he need to become a millionaire in 5 years? I'm going to tell him maybe 100,000 hex. If I get this wrong, I'm banned from future Christmas gatherings. Oh, that's so funny. Intel Pro. Hex pump. Is it pumping? I haven't taken a screenshot recently. Maybe we can jump on together sometime and get my channel up and running. I would love to hear more, and I want to give back the same way that other people have given to me. I could tell you the best way, the way I did it, is I tipped Hexologist and got my name known there in his daily hex stream. And then I went on the effing hangout on Friday nights on Discourse Syndicate. Anybody is invited to go on the stream and say hello to the hex community. So that's how I got known and got my channel started. And of course, put in a lot of hard work, cutting down my hours at work so that I can donate my time here on YouTube. And, that gives me more in terms of the social capital and the warm, fuzzy feelings I get when people say that this is helping. So thanks, guys. IRS, a bunch of clowns. I can help you anytime you need with a stream. Oh, Bran is also volunteering. Balliot Bran is so awesome. I just, another person, I kind of volunteered him to be moderator and t.me/hex meetup. And Bran is known as the most positive, supportive person in the hex community. And he's our positivity and our shining light. That's why he's got the cool sunglasses on. Hex Mac is willing to help too. See, look at this community. I haven't even gotten to the comment where I say I'll help, and there's already other people agreeing to help. If you live on planet Earth, that's right. Yeah, I made a sweeping statement there, didn't I? And now there are bail-ins, which are even worse than bailouts, as I've learned watching Alex Machinsky. Interesting. I'd slaughter them too. Bring your heroes to Wales only. Richard Hart, anybody. You'll get all of our rants here sooner or later. This is great. Love this behavioral economics piece. I'm glad natural law. I will definitely keep it going. Trigger gang. Can we get Peter McCormick in here, please? Listen, anytime Peter McCormick wants to come on, I'm going to tell him about omega-3. We're going to talk about how he quit drinking, how he betters his life. We'll talk about Bitcoin. I'll tell him I used to listen to him, and then I'll give him a stream link anytime. Open invitation. I have said very kind things about Peter McCormick because he's kind of hated in the hex community. We need to balance that out a little bit. We need to bring it down a notch, the level of hate. I got triggered by the up only. I was flabbergasted. I was shocked. I was like, you banned me for showing off my awesome hex emote and saying hex. I said hex pays 35% APY. I'm saying it pays less than it really does. No respect. Floating supply. That's it. Circulating supply. Yeah. That's the one. Circulating. Tomato. All right. I got the Wales only seal of approval. Pizza. What about it? I tried to buy Hexo's pizza tweet for $30 and he turned me down, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with it. Maybe I'll buy my own pizza with Hex and then it's gonna be hard to beat Hexo because he spent what's worth now, depending on which day you ask him and how accurate his numbers are, between $1,400 and $2,000 to buy the first Hex pizza. He bought 2 pizzas. They were worth like $30 or $40 at the time. If somebody wants to do a pizza party for everybody in Vegas, you might be able to beat. He was the first, but you could be the top pizza person. Once HEX moons, there might not be enough pizza in the world or enough HEX. The amount of HEX, because the Bitcoin pizza guy, the first Bitcoin transaction, we can do the math. It's easy. I think he paid 10,000 Bitcoin, but I think he bought 2 or tipped the person 10,000. Let's say it was only 10,000. Bitcoin did a 6 million X more, or Bitcoin 60K. So that's $600 million. That feels right. That feels right. Because I think when Bitcoin was 10,000, it was $100 million worth of pizza. So I don't think you can call anywhere. I don't think if you went everywhere in the world and ordered a pizza all at the same time and you said, crank them out as fast as you can all at once, I don't think you could order $600 million worth of pizza. You could go to a really fancy pizza place and you could waste $600 million on pizza, but I guess we'll have to find out as we go. Maddie, when you get a chance, can you see about your audio not to clip so much? Your voice has beautiful dynamic range, but your audio capture tech can't quite keep up. Thanks, mate. Sure, I'll take that into consideration. Thanks for the feedback. I can't guarantee that I won't get excited and speak up. I already pulled out my cloud booster out because I don't think it was working and couldn't get it right. You know, Richard, he can stream, or like other people who are super professional, they could stream with like the mic all the way down here. So it's almost, you can't even see it. And then they could speak and you could hear them really clearly. I'm not there yet, but I'm willing to learn. There could be a dual supply where the circulating supply and the stake supply is shown. But this, yeah, you're right. The audio is crystal clear on my end. Oh, thanks, HexMac. Yeah, I mean, this is a very fine microphone. I upgraded just for you guys because my AirPods Pro, they were screwing up. I don't know. We'll figure it out. People will debate in the comments and they'll let us know. Would be more transparent. Why is always this and that? Go for both combined. Yeah, the legacy markets, they're not transparent. Waste range of tools are at the disposal to influence behavioral economics, legislative incentives, price predictions, etc. You name the rest. Maddie, do you think ETH will go to 0? And will the pulse, I think it'll be abbreviated the full name, PULSE. Like, what's the other thing that has 5 letters? It's not uni. 1 inch? 1 inch? There's lots of them that have, you can have 5 letters in a ticker symbol. So I think the ticker symbol will be pulse. And the pulse hex will start where the hex started initially. No, I think there will be price discovery, and I think it will be in between the values, and it'll go back and forth. And if you watch both charts on different screens, your neck will get tired because your head will be going back and forth so fast. So, like, price discovery is a beautiful thing when you're early. You don't want to discover the price of something at the end. We'll get back into the crypto economics here in just a second. We might have to go over the 2 hours. I don't care. I'm having fun here. You think oysters? I don't know. Look it up. Low mercury levels, very important. Time traveler, I knew it. How'd you know? Is it because I said it once before? Economic stress revealed preferences overstated revealed preferences. What is that? Advertisements and social media. You're actually reading the screen here and the part that I didn't read. So yeah, I read that when I was preparing for the episode and I thought about it a little bit. I think what they mean, is that So not only is money stressful in the first place to people because it represents their economic energy that they're storing, and now they have to worry about a bunch of middlemen and Federal Reserve printers destroying their savings over time. So you have that kind of subconscious pull on people, the price of things going up, inflation. And then you've got competition for people's attention. I tried to do Twitter ads once, and it cost $1 for every time somebody clicked on something, even if they didn't mean to. People pay so much for advertising because attention is a scarce resource. And so it makes it stressful when so many people are competing to get your attention, to scam you with whatever is profitable, right? It's super profitable to fill your head with nonsense about coins, about all the other cryptos that we don't talk about on here, like Pancake Swap and all the copies of Uniswap that seem like they're worth a lot of money right now, but there will be a correction in the market. And HEX will probably do super well when the rest of the crypto market goes down, as it always does. But while they keep printing money, it's anybody's guess what's going to happen. Stress. Yeah, think about how stressful money is. So a lot of people, if they are good at saving money, have a stress reaction when they go to the store and inhibit themselves from buying things that they don't really need. There's this entire, literally the economy is set up to compete, to make better products, to get you to part with your money and spend it today instead of tomorrow. So of course it makes sense that it's stressful for people when they confront the prices of things at the store. You don't know what it's going to be until you look at it. You have to keep track of all these numbers. A lot of people really aren't good with numbers. Even if, there's so many things that you have to be good at to understand economics. Clearly economists are pretty bad at it. It's probably because they're corrupt, but it might also be because they've got it twisted and they're just, I think when you're, there is not, in graduate school, you're not allowed to disagree with certain things. Trust me, I know. So there is something called modern monetary theory, MMT, and that says that printing money infinitely is good for the economy. Nobody disagrees with this in economics. Does that sound right? That you can spend endlessly money that is not tied to how many things are made? Elon Musk had a quote. He said, you have to make things to be able to have things. Talking about how you can't just print money out of thin air and buy stuff, because how are you going to get the stuff? Somebody has to make it. Somebody has to create the goods and services. Very good. We're learning all about oysters. There's a video called The Power of T-Shirts. Yeah, if you go to my YouTube page and then go to the playlist, What is HEX and HEX Cameo, then you can see 10 minutes of, it's 3 videos. In 10 minutes, we'll explain everything you'd ever want to know about HEX. Not everything you'd ever want to know, but the basics. APY could go up from the price of T-shirts going up. In USD, you're talking about. APY is a rate. It's a percentage. So I don't think it would go up, Marcovelli. But also, shout out to you for being a leader in the voice chat. We appreciate you. His name was Robert Paulson. Yo, I'm probably clipping because I'm so excited. That is a Fight Club reference, y'all. Tyler Durden, Robert Paulson. That's so funny. Yo, HEX has a little bit of Fight Club. Actually, HEX has huge Fight Club energy. Fight Club is one of my favorite movies of all time. I had a broken down laptop once, and in college, I put Fight Club on replay, and so every time I would walk past the room, I would be seeing a different part of Fight Club. It was actually like psychologically pretty like weird. It was like having deja vu like over and over again, and my roommate enjoyed it too. But we ended the experiment at the 1 month mark, which I think if Fight Club is a 2-hour movie, what we watched it 12 times 30, we watched it 360 times or something. So, I mean, we didn't watch it the whole time, but you get the idea. Whales only. You have an excellent voice, Timothy Benjamin says. Do people respond more to increasing profits or constant ones? It depends on the context. People like number go up. It's rewarding to see paper gains on a screen. It's even more rewarding to not get wrecked when you stop yourself from trading back and forth whenever. I mean, what we're going to get into here is that basically people get lucky, and that's them. And then people think they're smart. I mean, Warren Buffett was lucky. Bill Gates was lucky. If you read the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, it gives a lot of evidence that like you have to do 10,000 hours of preparation, but also you have to get lucky. That's how people get rich. That's how people like, we are all lucky that we found HEX. We had the minimum necessary IQ in order to pay attention and to get it, but we're lucky that we even heard of it. Get on 4chan, biz boards, and represent Hexicans. Yo, there's lots of places we can go and spread the good word. Hexicans are awesome. Hedonic treadmill says people need increasing because we're apes. Oh, that reminds me of something crazy Elon was saying in his Lex Friedman interview, basically saying, I love how he talks about he's going to build Neuralink as like the third layer of the cortex, because you've got the ape brain, and that's your subconscious and all your impulses and your emotional centers and all that. And then the prefrontal cortex is kind of just stuck on top, and it's where you do your rational decision making, but you're still trying to make the ape brain happy. And that explains a lot of human behavior just from neuroscience and looking at how the brain evolved. And so Elon wants, and he's testing this in like pigs and animals, and like he's done a bunch of demos. Like he's engineering a way to integrate artificial intelligence in as like the third layer on top of the prefrontal cortex. So like, just like your ape brain doesn't really understand what's going on in the prefrontal cortex. It's just like sending signals like, and then the prefrontal cortex is like figuring stuff out the best that it can. Like there will be another layer of abstraction to where, you know, like once you have super intelligence plugged into your brain, then like your prefrontal cortex isn't going to know everything either. And it's still going to be a good setup. Hi, Maddie. Crypto Sparbach. Greetings from the German community. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Vegas. I am looking forward to seeing you too. This is Patrick Hex Lion. Follow his YouTube show. It's outstanding. They do an English version every week, and we love his analysis. His team not only had an excellent hour-long presentation on the first day of the first HEX conference, where they correctly predicted what's going to happen with T-shares and all kinds of other stuff. It's a must-see. It's a must-see. You can see it on his channel. You can see it on my channel. It's on all the channels. He continues to be a top thought leader. And he's moved to Colombia, right? Abit, who is like OG, like the first person who helped me make a graphic in HEX, so then I could start being a streamer. Like, I owe a lot to these guys, and I want to shout them out. Tell everybody how awesome they are. Go ahead and follow them and check them out and meet up with us in Vegas. This year, next year, the year after that, like, don't miss your opportunity to buy HEX just because you want to go to Vegas the first time. It's going to keep getting better and better. There's going to be more and more hangouts. These guys are hanging out in Colombia now. They're perpetual travelers. Very cool. Low gas right now. Oh, shoot. I paid 20K HEX for a HEX t-shirt last April. Most expensive t-shirt in 10 years. Yo, that's an expensive t-shirt. I love it. That's the best. It sounded like it was cutting out for a second on my end, but the microphone is fine now. Okay. 5 letters. Matic. Pundy. Okay. I thought for a second you betrayed us and started shilling other coins. I should never have thought that. I'm sorry, Crypto Learner. You're a valued member of the community. I think Crypto Sparbox HEX t-shirt purchase should become our Bitcoin pizza. Well, we have a HEX pizza. It'll tell the world about the t-shirt as soon as we hit 50 cents and auto earn instant time. I think the fashion people are going to pay attention to Crypto Sparbox t-shirt. I think, I should put up the one I'm talking about. I think the pizza people who love pizza, they're going to pay attention to that. It's a double marketing opportunity. You guys sure there will be a new token also, because that's not oblige, you know? No, we're not sure. But it's promising. Richard pinned a message and mentions it as PLS. I stand corrected. Thank you, Sam. You've increased my knowledge and understanding. I will make a stream about it. Ooh, yeah, make a stream about it. Totally. All right. Let's see. Pro-public policy prevents us from studying earnest, ergo apes. Yeah. Well, it's a meme to ape into stuff, but it's part of the not Occupy Wall Street bets. It's part of the irony and the meme is that they ape into things, but in reality, that's not what they're doing. Roaring Kitty is doing super in-depth analyses. It's like an ex-Wall Street dude who never got paid anything working on Wall Street. Does it sound like anybody we know? Who's out there spreading the truth and getting tons of followers. So our very own Whales Only, is even better than Roaring Kitty. Which one do you want? A kitty or a whale? Which one do you want to be? Scarce resources, infinite money sounds right to me. The Matty Pump. Are we still going up? Take a break to stretch your legs and snapshot your mad gains. The Matty Pump. HEX streaming 24/7. Hi, Matty. You have good shows. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. HEX Softball. Good to see you there. Lazor. Okay, you rebranded. Awesome. Yo, Matty. You always keep me company on my work breaks. I love it. That's great, William. Good to see you from last week. I have extra HEX softball jerseys. Yo, maybe you could sell them for maybe not 20,000 HEX, but that's the hookup. Thanks a lot for the kind words. See you soon. Hell yeah. I'm making a new word and definition. Expulse means to expel or drive out in a violent manner. And my word, hexpulse, is to drive out fake crypto projects in a violent manner. As someone who has created words, I can't tell you which words because it might dox me. You guys know my first, Maddie ALLin is my first and middle name, by the way. I'm not going to dox myself, but I've created words. Go to Urban Dictionary, create the word, then tweet it out, tag me in it. I'll try to check my Twitter. It gets pretty busy these days. If somebody's having a fight and they tag me and I'm not involved, it clutters up the whole feed. So, but yeah, make it a reality. I mean, somebody else might steal your word. You could be first, and then we could all like it on Urban Dictionary. The shit Hex supporters are taking from BTC maximalists feels exactly the same way it felt from people who gave me shit at a legacy hedge fund I worked for. It wasn't their bag, so they ignored it. Good point, Dan. Maddie, Hex Truth Engine. Yeah, that's my middle name. When are coming to Vegas? June 24th through the 27th. Whales only drops the fax bombs. My prediction, 7.2 hex by the end of May, 11.3 by the end of the year. I love that. I will donate a few to your channel, Maddie. Oh, you're so kind. That's awesome. We love jerseys. Yo. All right, side story. I bought some T-Fuel to donate to like Discourse Syndicate and learn how theta worked. Never really learned how theta worked. That's on my list of things to do. I feel bad for not doing it yet, but like I'm not going to feel too bad because I'm taking care of myself. I'm exercising. I went to the gym this morning. I run 3.69 miles about 3 times a week. Like, it's a busy life trying to do these shows, provide value. But I will, mark my words, get on theta as soon as they figure out all their bugs. Side story. So I bought like $100 worth of theta T-Fuel to donate to Discourse Syndicate and learn how it works and donate to some other people. Then the price of T-Fuel went up 30x and I couldn't get it out because you can like send it there, but it can't leave. Crazy. No wonder the price is going up. Not like, I'm not saying by that because there's limited things you can do with it. But one thing I did is I bought a streamer chair. And, I've been living such a frugal lifestyle that I literally don't even have that many places to sit. Like, I'm lacking in the chair department. So I'm super pumped. It just got delivered today. I got a $250 chair delivered to me from Theta because I cashed in like a fraction of those tokens. So cool. But yeah, I got my Theta jersey. I don't think I've worn it on stream yet. It's one of my favorite new shirts. And it says, I got it customized. It says Maddie ALLin, and then the number is like 369. Yeah. I can tell I already like Theta. If you're running, make sure you're doing less than 20 miles a week. Bad for your knees, bad for your heart, and decreases your lifespan. So true. I have a friend, a super close friend, who got a lot of over exercising done in the Marines and has been telling me about that. I'm gonna switch to swimming here before I blow out my knees. But thanks for the advice. Yeah, I used to run like crazy. It was weird. I went through this weird phase because I always hated running, and then I was like, oh, I'm taking omega-3. Oh, I can question like my own cognitive beliefs. It's like, do I really hate running? Let me try rewarding myself for running and see what happens. So I rewarded myself. That's a whole nother episode. I started running, and then I was like running. What was it? What was my all-time high for running was like 14 and a half miles all at one time. Like I wasn't planning on it. I was just like, all right, let's go. And I just kept running that long. Like what? Now I run 4 miles, like 3 times a week. So that's pretty good, but we'll see. Thanks for the care. If Theta helps spread Hex, the word, then God bless. Yeah, you could follow now, and it'll unlock more for me to do once I work the bugs out. Theta.tv/Maddie ALLin. Break's over already. Enjoyed it. Got smarter every second. Thanks again, Maddie. I'll be checking out the rest of the video later. Peace out. Hey, awesome having you with us. Enjoy the rest of your work. Swimming and biking. Get a nice a bike. Oh, a Cannondale. Cool. What's 369? That's the inflation rate in Hex, and it's the number that Nikola Tesla was obsessed with. It's got magical properties as a number. You can read about it in t.me/sci-vive. You get a free copy of Richard's 750-page book. It's also omega 369 is like a type of oil that creates a building block for your brain. You can run, just make sure you're not overdoing it, and try to find sand to run on to lessen the impact. I switched to biking, haven't looked back. Awesome. Very cool, very cool. How far can you bike? All right, what else can I say? I know we're running out of time. This is my part 2. Does anybody else read articles backwards? I do that. I don't know if it's an Eastern thing. First of all, hire a pro. Not going to do it. Not giving a financial advisor 1% of my wealth, which is like every year. So you want to hold my money for 100 years and then I'll just give you all 100%. That's stupid. What is an example of a finding in behavioral finance? Investors are found to systematically hold on to losing investments far too long than rational expectations would predict. And they also sell winners too early. Okay, I don't care what you call it, disposition effect, whatever. Listen, it depends on the investment. Are you telling people that they should impulsively sell because the value of something went down? No, that's the time to buy. It depends on your investment thesis. Whales Only could probably speak on this way better. I'm probably going to look like a fool. But the point I'm trying to make is that it depends. Like, you can't call it a whole effect in psychology whenever it's more complicated than that. The whole point of psychology is to understand behavior, not make it more complicated, not obfuscate it from people. That means to overcomplicate, right? Stupid. Yo, if I followed this, there were people telling me to sell all my HEX when it doubled. I'm serious. I'm so serious. You know, I need to talk to those people. I need to update them on what's going on. How does knowing about behavioral finance help? By understanding how and when people deviate from rational expectations, behavioral finance provides a blueprint to help us make better, more rational decisions when it comes to financial matters. What's rational? You can't know other people's behavior. You can't know if you're early to something. All you can do is be a fundamental investor, or you could try to manage your emotions better and then like buy the dip on something that seems to have value, right? Or you could like cut down on your spending and increase your income. Oh, is that financial advice? Yeah, that's financial. Like, yeah, save more, stop spending as much, and make more money. Financial command. How does behavioral finance differ from mainstream financial theory? Mainstream theory, on the other hand, makes the assumptions in its models that people are rational actors, that they're free from emotion or the effects of culture and social relations. I wonder why people are so emotional, because they have to make decisions because you never educated them at all. That's what people have been saying all stream. People are self-interested utility maximizers. Yeah, obviously people are adaptive. It also assumes by extension that markets are efficient. Markets are rigged, dog. Enough said. What does behavioral finance tell us? Behavioral finance helps us understand how financial decisions around things like investments, payments, risk, and personal debt are greatly influenced by human emotion, biases, and cognitive limitations of the mind in processing and responding to information. Oh shit, all the information on CNBC and Money Talks and Squawk Box and fucking Jim Cramer and all the goddamn articles you read everywhere, they're all gatekept. They're lying. They're telling you the opposite of what those firms are doing. What did JP Morgan Chase do? Oh, Jamie Dimon, he said, I'll fire anybody who buys Bitcoin. His firm was buying Bitcoin. Like, lies. You got caught. Sorry. It's 2021, y'all. You're about to get canceled if you don't shut up. Like, I'm talking to the Jamie Dimons of the world. So corrupt. So corrupt. The efficient market hypothesis says that any given time in a highly... Oh my God. We just got triggered again, people. The efficient market hypothesis says that at any given time in a highly liquid market, stock prices are efficiently valued to reflect all the available information. I'm sorry, the greatest moment of opportunity, are you calling it efficient to not make very good returns? That doesn't seem very efficient to me. It seems efficient to me when I put my capital to work by voting for something that other people haven't figured out yet because they didn't do the work. I did the work. I studied HEX. I read the contract. I looked at line 718 and it says you can stake for 5,555 days. Did Tone Vays do that? Did Satoshi Nakamoto do that? I don't know about that one. Did Peter McCormick do that? Did Andreas Antonopoulos do that? Did Anthony Pompliano do that? No, they didn't do it. Otherwise, they would realize it's genius. So what I think is that the market sucks and it's rigged, and the higher liquidity something has, that means the more goddamn middlemen are in the middle of it. And take it from somebody who has been good at picking stocks, but I always get fudded out of them. Maybe that's what they're talking about, that people are making emotional decisions based on misinformation, because y'all told me that when I bought Facebook on the IPO, that was a bad idea, and Facebook crashed and I sold it. Oh, up here, you're going to tell me that I was having a bias, that I was having a loss aversion, right? Or that I was having, like all these different, I was having all these mental problems. Like my brain wasn't working right because the price of Facebook went down from like $40 down to like $20. And so I was like, what they're saying here in this article is you should sell. Sunk cost, loss aversion, all this is bullshit. This is a big mindfuck runaround, misinformation, propaganda, like leading you in the wrong direction if you are trying to educate yourself. Ad for H&R Block, no thanks. I don't even know how much that Facebook would be worth now, but it's hella more than it was. But the experts in the suits on the TV were saying that Facebook would never figure out mobile. Guess what? They figured out mobile. Is it the person who had the best information? I knew Facebook was cool back then. That's why I bought it the first day it was available on the stock market. Same thing with Snapchat. I bought Snapchat the first day it was available on the stock market. But guess what? That was a greedy IPO, and the banks already marked up the price all the way up to $25, and then it dropped down to $5. So I got wrecked on that trade. It's not, see, when there's high liquidity, what that means is that a middleman is there to run your pockets. That's what that means. So it's not rational to look for high liquidity. It's rational to look for deep fucking value. And that's what GameStop did, right? That's what people in HEX are doing. We're so early that motherfuckers are talking about low liquidity being a bad thing. I had somebody, who was it? Somebody made a comment after the fact on the video from last week. And I just about got triggered there because they were talking about how, oh, you all are the stupidest people ever. Like going on and on, whole paragraphs about how we're fools because we got our money locked, right? People have it so backwards, and I don't even blame them because of what people have been taught. So I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm looking at you, the camera, the viewer, and I don't know how many people are watching, but we had 1,000 people watch last week, and that's a start, right? Because 1,000 people start telling people in their family, start telling their loved ones, start telling people that they care about how money really works. Store of value, that means you're locking up your money and you're going to get paid without the value bottoming out. The reason that the dollar is a poor store of value is because it's crashed down 95% in purchasing power in the last 100 years. The reason why HEX is so appealing is because it pays you interest in HEX. And the more people who learn that there's a tool that doesn't involve middlemen and doesn't need high liquidity, people who want to sell right now, fuck you, right? Like, it's okay if you need to sell. People have sold. Like, I'm not gonna tell the IRS everything, This isn't pillow talk time, but listen, you can get money out of HEX that you put in way more. You can get way more out than you put in at any time. I've been here since day 4. I could tell you that as a fact. If you want to get out tens or hundreds of millions of dollars out of HEX right now, sorry, like, too bad. That doesn't mean it's irrational. HEX is the most rational investment that you can make if you think storing value over time is valuable. It's the stupidest. It is the stupidest argument I've ever had to make. This new invention of HEX that stores value over time by time locking, that is a store of value. Like, it's so funny to me that we are so early. People don't even understand programmable money. People don't understand Bitcoin. There's been over $1 billion of money locked in HEX already for over 5 years. That's, like I said, the greatest economics experiment that's ever happened. It's also the greatest economic triumph that has ever happened in the history of the world. And y'all are talking about it's irrational to have low liquidity. Now, I will admit, low liquidity is a red flag, right? So all the scam coins out there, they have low liquidity and they'll pull the rug out from under you. But hey, how many times has the rug gotten pulled out from under you in HEX? Richard never said by the top. I've only heard Richard really make one comment that made me want to buy, other than him generally saying, I like it and it's better than Bitcoin, which are all factual things. That's not forward-looking price statements. HEX is not a security. Like, HEX would be worth so much more right now if Richard just lied. He could make up fake partnerships. He could make promises and not have a finished product. He could pump the price by telling people to buy at all times. Literally, the only comment he made was after the big payday. So in like November, December, January, somewhere in there, he was like, oh, it looks like at a third of a penny, somebody keeps buying. It seems like HEX has not gone back below that price point. The price at that time was 0.3 of a penny. Yeah, I bought. I hit the buy button a lot that day, and I kept hitting it. So like, low liquidity means people can't get out who have tens of millions of dollars, because we don't want them to get out, because we want the price to go up. And we want people to have their money locked so that they can get their mental health right and they can get their plan together before they get the sudden wealth. So somebody laughing at me, like, I don't even take offense, because I feel bad for somebody who made that comment, because they really don't understand money and we do. And like, we'll be on the right side of history. So I'm not worried about it. Like, and I don't want to even have an attitude of speaking ill on people. I went ahead, I didn't reply to the comment. I just deleted it from YouTube. Cause I don't want to make people feel bad about themselves or, really start a negative vibe. Cause I think just putting out positive vibes is just like definitely the way to go for me personally. Cause that's going to make me feel better about myself. But people will be out here trying to trigger us. And the more conviction you have and the more education that we get from each other, I learned from Whales Only, from Kareem, from literally everybody in the chat, from all the other HEX streamers, from Richard Hart himself, from new people who are coming into HEX, the CEO of Nomics. Like, he free claimed his Bitcoin. He bought more on top. Like, it's happening. And we're like, the final thing that I'll say, because all these biases, like, it's just a bunch of bullshit. There are some cool things in here. Mental accounting. I like that. Gotta save some stuff for next time. But the final point is, like, we are early and we are lucky. And that's going to take a while to set in. Like, there will be a shock, like a slow motion shock that you'll have when you see how this plays out. And, you know, for me, I have not invested more than I can lose, but I worked very, very hard to invest as much as I could. I have accepted the fact that I could be wrong, right? Because that's what scientists and smart people do. You are open to that idea. That makes you a free thinker, right? And a critical thinker. And so I'm going to tell myself that HEX could not work out for some reason. And the evidence is so overwhelming. I'm not going to linger. I'm not going to base my behavior on that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to tell myself that, like, because getting over invested in something, that's probably not good for your mental health either. So I'm going to let myself, continue to run a balanced budget at home, right? But for a long time, for a lot of years, I got lucky because I heard about Bitcoin. I was already interested in gold. The price of Bitcoin went higher than the price of gold. Now you got my attention. And then I started saving super hard. I started working as many hours as I could work. I made sacrifices. I delayed gratification. I did not get the things that I wanted at that time, and I was proud of that. And so I worked really hard, and then I said, here, crypto, take my money, bear market, buying Bitcoin, don't know if it's going up or down. Now I have half of all the money I saved the past 2 years. Like, that changed my psychology. It made me stronger because I had to believe in order to buy when all the money I put in kept going down. And if you listen to behavioral economics, you'll never be rich. You will never be free. You'll never get to take these handcuffs off. To me, it was worth it to take the risk. And I knew the risk that I was taking because I felt it, because the price went down so much. And I bought at the bottom and it physically hurt me. It made me sick to buy Bitcoin super cheap because the future was uncertain. But I understood the principles and I educated myself, and I took, I did my own critical thinking, and I'm responsible for that. So if HEX goes down a lot and I keep buying and then nothing good ever comes of it, y'all are responsible for yourselves. I'm going to be responsible for me. And then I'll just keep working. I'll keep building myself into a better person. I'll keep enjoying the gift of life. I'll keep being grateful that I had the ride that I had, that I built the community and the skills. There's there's things that are happening now that are bigger than money. I'm taking better care of myself mentally, physically. So it's getting more impossible to think that this is going to be, I've got a lot of close friends now in HEX. It's getting harder and harder to see that this is ever going to be a rug pull. And if it is, I'll work some extra years and I'll make up my savings, right, that I lost. But I'm not going to play these mind games with myself where I start thinking that I could have done better than I did because I'm doing my best. And right now, you're seeing me kind of like I'm not working as many hours getting money in the clinic because I already did that and I delayed my gratification. Now I'm using like the abundance of my financial security to like do what I love, which is to reach a larger audience, to help people understand. Take omega-3. It will change your life. Practice and learn, educate yourself, get therapy skills, improve yourself. Like, that's what it is. So thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of HEX Therapy Live. I am honored that you're here, and I'm looking forward to many more years with you. I will continue because I've been thinking, when am I going to stop buying HEX? I think that as long as I'm saving money, which I hope to do forever because I hope to create value for the world, and I'll do that by programming mental health into money. I'll do that by making content and getting these little tips here and there, by working whatever jobs I can, by creating value in the world. I'll continue to save in HEX because HEX is a tool that allows me to do that and to save myself from myself. So I'm not asking for tips right now either, but thank you so much for the 555. A lot of good numbers there. Just got back from jiu-jitsu. Took some fish oil and listening. I'm so excited. Aaron Ellis, awesome. I know you do your workouts and you come into the Quant Gang around this time, and we love seeing you in the comments there. Thank you, everybody, for being involved. Call to action. Make sure to like all those tweets out there and keep supporting each other. Like, all the positive things that you're saying to me, like, that's part of what makes this energy possible. And this mood is contagious. This is a good mood. So get out there, do your thing, tune in, effing hang out tomorrow night on Discord Syndicate. I'm going to do a stream in the middle of the day, earlier in some places in the United States on Saturday. So don't miss it. Next week, HEX Therapy Live. We'll be back here at the same old time after Hexo on Thursday. And even before that, Quant Gang episode 11 on Tuesday after Hexo. Maddie out.